Welcome, Cancer, to your October 2020 reading. It's great to see the subscribers back again. Always good to see you. I was going to say that if you have a particularly hard decision to make, or if you're worried about something and worried about the course of action to take, then you can always contact me for a private reading and see the information in the description box below. And you, like many other people all around the world, will have the benefit of that reading. Now, I'm going to take 5 cards for you, and we shall see what there is in store for Cancer, October 2020. Let's see, the first one is this, the Hierophant. That's an interesting card for you, I think. Let's have a look at this one here. There is the Queen of Swords. Some Norse mythology, it looks like, coming into there. If I'm just looking at the card as I see it, it's what's coming through to me. The Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups. A lot of you in that Queen of Cups. Central energy. Let's have a look at this one here. There is the Three of Wands. Hope you have been enjoying summer or winter in the Southern Hemisphere. And let's see what there is in store for you. The last card, which is the Six of Cups. Fantastic. Okay, as is the practice. Excuse me. Come and sit down next to me, and we'll have a look at these cards together while I do the reading for you. Okay, next month's reading will be published on the 7th of October at 2 p.m. US Eastern Time. And let's have a look at these energies here for you. Here we have first up the Hierophant. Let's have a closer look at this, shall we? Gee, isn't that an interesting depiction of the Hierophant, the magus of the eternal gods? Well, it is Venus in Taurus with the moon, your planet, exalted, and which is at its best. So this is a good time for you, I think. And I think what this does is that this is saying to you that this is not the time to go upsetting the apple cart. This is not a time to commence any Russian revolution or anything like that. This is a time to go with the flow, follow the rules, regulations, and the traditions in your life. I think this could well be a period of intense education, whether it be on the internet or however else it might do in your particular area of interest. Now, I think what's going to be important to you very much is the desire for, not just for relationship, but for very deep relationship, very deep, all-encompassing relationship. This is a particularly useful energy for those people who are in a large company or organization, I think. I think what we can say here is that this is really a time when you may well become an advisor to somebody else. People are going to seek your advice and counsel. People are going to come to you to help them with your problems and to go and sort out issues that they have in your life. You'll be very gifted at imparting information and in inspiring others. You're going to be very attracted to sounds and music and good at listening and speaking. And you want to make your ideas tangible and useful. I think there's going to be within you a deep desire to be challenged by new experiences. I think the search for self could lead you into spiritual realms, and so be open to what comes to you. Become, the poet John Keats said in, I think it was the poem The Ode on a Grecian Urn, he said, "Heard melodies are sweet, but those unheard are sweeter." So listen to that. Listen to the words that are unspoken, that come to you in the moments of your solitude. Involve yourself with teaching, sharing your knowledge with people, and say to yourself, I honor the sacred within me. I am inspired by learning and teaching. And I'm a creative and productive person, both in my family and in my professional life. And have this thought in mind during this period that, except for those soft, unspoken words that come to you in moments of contemplation, that on this plane, as far as other humans are concerned, there is only one voice worth listening to, the voice of my own heart. Yep, I think those poets very often can give us, in such economic expression, insight into divinity itself. Let's have a look at this card here, the Queen of Swords. Well, Libra is going to be important to you during this time. Libra, I think. So is Virgo, I'm getting here. Virgo and Libra. Well, here are the ravens. Now, in Norse mythology, there were two ravens called Hugin and Mumin, and they were the eyes, if you like. They were like the CIA, the spies of the Norse king of the gods, Odin, and they were also his companions. And each day at dawn, he sent them out to fly over his realm, called Midgard, I think, and look at everything and listen to people. And at dinner time, they returned with all the news of the world. Hugin and Munin, well, their names mean thought and memory. And Odin always worried that one day they would not come back, but they always did. I like to think of Odin as the face in the sky. His eyes are the sun and the moon in a sea of black sky like the pitch black raven feathers. Now in dream or subconscious symbolism, different things flow and merge together as internal ideas search out external ideas to stand in for them. I'm looking at this green here, very much associated with Venus, esoterically for me. And that is why I'm getting this Libra energy around it, of balance, but also of good thought. This emerald green, well, of course, this is the center of the visible color spectrum, which is red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. Green is the very center of our beautiful, colorful reality, the center of the rainbow, the emerald throne of God. So here sits Hugin and Munin on the Norse tree of life, in the upper boughs of which resided the gods. And they're protecting the spark of life within them, as we all do, reporting back to Odin at night, as we all do, as souls in exile when freed again at death. We experience this world through eyes of separation and individuals. Now, the face of the Queen of Swords, I suppose, is to be found here in the landscape. She is everything, and each one communicating and experiencing each other in states of solving, coagulating, separation, and togetherness. Now, commonly, this Queen provides an environment where one can use their mind to think, understand, and gain knowledge. And eventually, this is the place between heaven and hell that one can both fall from grace and then redeem yourself, become experienced, ride back into eternity, a person who has completely fulfilled their will and potential. Now, this speaks to me of a person, could be either male or female, because the genders on these court cards are interchangeable, who is graceful, very perceptive, a keen observer, able to interpret the subtleties that people have in their language and their expressions, and intense individualist, and someone who is confident and gracious. And I think you will be confident and gracious during this period. You'll be cutting through old masks and roles, and you'll be obtaining clarity and a degree of objectivity about things. Virgo and Libra. Well, her association with Libra for me connects her to the justice sort of card, the balance. This is all about making clear decisions based on fact and fairness for you at this time, similar to the Queen of Swords herself. What you must do is to use your intellect to make an unbiased decision about a situation. Compassion and empathy may distract you, so you must go within your head and use your head and not your heart. It's not a time to beat around the bush about a situation. Rather, it is a time to decide and to act. Have the courage of your convictions and go forwards. You are in the process of separating yourself more and more from old roles and behavior patterns. Now, this could bring some, wobbly experiences, I suppose, for you, but it's worth it. The clarity you gain frees you. Which are the roles you most easily and most often hide behind? Are you ready to drop them? Observe yourself in different roles. Some you will continue to play, but now with more awareness. You will play them until you no longer identify yourself with them. And say this to yourself at this time: my only duty in life is to remain true to myself. Now we come to a card which has got your name written all over it. This is the Queen of Cups. A lot of Cancer in here. A lot of Cancer. Probably Gemini might be important to you as well. The Queen of Cups is the Holy Grail, the reservoir and container of all our subconscious and ancestral wisdom, the dark waters of the abyss, the box of Pandora, and deep down in her deepest, darkest place lives hope, the pearl of wisdom. You see your crab here in these pearls that it's holding. Yeah. The ring, the sword, the symbol of your purpose in life, the reason you live. Now, emotions, of course, are an aspect of this card, and the Suit of Cups, the Suit of Water, they're about emotions as well. But they are just a skin of velvet covering the tiger beneath, the tiger that lies with unremorseful fangs. The pearls you see are something that are built up over a long time, thin layer by thin layer, until they are something beautiful and precious. Water is so soft and yin, feminine, yin and yang. Yet it is so powerful it shapes the earth. It does so with slow consistency, collective action over long periods of time, one drip at a time, one wave at a time, moving one grain of sand at a time. It wears away rocks, carves canyons, shapes mountains, and is the source of all life. Beneath her beautiful, perfect surface lies Tiamat, the ancient Babylonian creation goddess. It's about creation and creativity for you as well. Now, it's possible that during this period you may well be very much affected by the influences that are around you and the people who are around you. She is a woman, and I think, well, of course, this can also be a man, as I've said before, but you will be, she says that this is a period that you will be very intuitive, an observer, kind of dreamy, tranquil, poetic, kind, yet passive. She can see herself in others and also see through others and reflect that back to them. It suggests to me that this is a period where you will be emotionally mature, able to get along with and relate to your friends in a very deep way. You could be quite meditative, so go within and be at one with yourself. You will be practical, I think, and you'll be able to communicate your feelings and realizations to others in a very simple way. There is a need for you, I think, to get in touch with your inner feelings and for you to then be able to express those to others. And you need to develop intuitively and emotionally and then relate to others emotionally. By showing your feelings openly, of course, you become more beautiful. There may be people who don't understand you. Don't concern yourself about it. There are enough others with whom you can share your feelings. Are you open to your emotions and feelings? Trust your feelings. Live in harmony with them and say to yourself, my openness and vitality makes me beautiful. Let's turn now, shall we, to the Lord of Established Strength, the Three of Wands. Let's have a look at this. What an interesting depiction of the Three of Wands this is. What do you say to me? The three wands call down the creative gaze and grace of God. It is the third pillar in the Kabbalistic tree of life, the pillar of mildness, which reconciles the pillars of mercy and of severity. It is Kundalini, the serpent, which coils at the base of the spine, contains our sexual energy, sex and knowledge between the two trees, two people, two aspects of self, or heavens and earth. As in the six-pointed star, the merging of male and female sets the Kundalini in motion, pushing up through the spine, creating the third pillar through which the lightning of God can blast down and through which your consciousness can travel up and burst through, leaving with it the open thousand-petaled lotus of insight and revelation. Intent and desire, lust for knowledge and enlightenment are at the base of the pillar of mildness. From here, mankind looks up and reaches for the heavens, reaches for the answers to the great mysteries of good and evil and life and death. Now, the astrology of this card is, for me, in the position that it's in down here, that of the Sun in the second decan of Aries, the 31st of March to 9th of April. The Sun is also exalted in Aries. And so this placement is very favorable for you because Aries enjoys a challenge, and Aries suns are happiest when their lives are moving forward. So this will be a time where you have honesty, self-confidence, and making no compromises. Ideas are going to crystallize. There's going to be confirmation that you are on the right path. Could well be a business expansion. Hobbies may turn into a business. This is very much also, I think, about looking inside, and because I've got this big eye poking up at me here, about looking inside and outside with integrity, honesty, and no compromise. I think it might also be important for you, just between the two of us, to ensure that you check the integrity of somebody else, and that person may be an Aries, I think. It is important for you at this time to operate from a place of integrity before making any decisions at the moment, and to have clarity of mind and heart before action is taken so that you bring about the best results. Unless you do have that clarity, then don't act. But of course, if you do, then now is the time to act. Pay attention to your own point and internal stillness. Center yourself and overcome. Are there any reasons for self-doubt? Do you let doubt hamper your virtues, if you are not centered and feel doubts lingering within, then push them aside. Doubts arise from yesterday, which is gone forever. And say to yourself, I have the power and virtue to reflect and to know. Well, that takes us then to the Lord of Pleasure. Pleasure, indeed. Well, what do you have to say to me, Lord of Pleasure? What say you? This Six of Cups is the Archangel Uriel, which means light of God. This is the Krishna consciousness or Christ consciousness rising up through the waters of your subconscious and out into the day. Your true self, your golden soul, found and tempered, now rising to consciousness from its own buoyancy, your free will, your will. Now, here, Uriel has the claws of a lobster or some sort of a crustacean, just as like you will often see in the traditional moon card. Certainly the Tarot de Marseille has it in there. Because it is us and our potential rising from the mud at the bottom of the ocean or lake and out into the air. In many ways, this mirrors evolution from the salty sea and our journey from the womb too, as we evolve and rise up from the water onto land, into life and into humanity. This is a prime pattern for us as people rising from the salty water. And here it is a pure and golden soul, your purpose for living. This is the angel who guards the gates of the Garden of Paradise. He checked the doors for the Lamb's blood in the ancient biblical text of Exodus. In the Jewish Bible, or the Old Testament in the Christian tradition, at the time of the Passover. He holds the keys to hell. Uriel is the patron saint of artists and the arts. Artists also hold a key to the subconscious, I think, to both to hell and to the Garden of Eden. Artists reach down deep into the well, the dark places in the soul to find their inspiration, don't they? Uriel solves challenges by reaching into the depths of the self for answers, by trusting and helping the true self to rise to the surface, by exposing that which was previously hidden, repressed, or locked away, by growing. I have here the sun ruling the second decan of Scorpio, the 3rd to the 12th of November. And here we have a double dose of the sun because for me, the number 6 mystically is associated with the sun and also with the area of divine emanation prior to the emergence of matter from spirit, which is associated by mystics as being connected with Krishna consciousness or with Christ consciousness. So the double sun reveals what Scorpio wants to hide. I think what we have here is that there's pleasure, indulgence, sexual pleasure, excitement, family support. But the pleasure here is a kind of pleasure which is completely harmonized. Now, the zodiacal sign governing the card for me, being Scorpio, well, pleasure here is rooted in its most convenient soil. This is a preeminently fertile card and for me is one of the best in the pack. Although the energy here is centered on sexuality, I think, it can also refer to, but it's a balanced sexuality. Pleasure can come about also after what can sometimes have been much hardship. I think it can also refer to you undergoing a period of healing and transformation. The emphasis here is on relationship, or the desire to have a relationship that will improve both of the individuals, where the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. Enjoy now all which life gives you. This is the best way to express your gratitude to life. Are you holding on to old beliefs which prevent your enjoyment of pleasure? Enjoy your own emotional wealth and share it with someone else. And say to yourself, I am now open to a partner with whom I can share the joys of love on all levels. What a fantastic set of cards for you. What an extraordinary set of imagery, I think you'll agree. Great job, Cancer, well done. That's the way it is for you this month. Well, I hope you enjoyed that reading as much as I did providing it to you. It's my great pleasure to provide these monthly readings for you. So, of course, just please like and subscribe. It does actually help the channel, and it would help me be seen by a number of other people as well. You were fantastic during that reading. You did a really good job. Now, the only other thing that's left for me to say is this, that you are a legend, and I look forward to seeing you again next month. Until then, it's bye for now.